Illustrator, and this first exercise we're going to be working with layering artwork. So you're going to open file G8 and let's save it as new earth layers. Save as Creative Cloud, new earth layer, layers underscore AI-G. Save. It's fine. Okay, so let's make sure we have the layers panel open, and I of course like to expand my layers. Let's pay attention real quick that this background layer, notice how they are all blue, our green text layer has red, and our globe layer has green. Just wanted to point that out before we move on. Okay, so we're going to click our globe layer, which is right here, and then we're going to click new layer in the panel, layers panel right here. New layer, and let's type new earth, and we're going to make this color gold. All right, so when I hit OK, our new earth layer now has a gold color to it. All right, so let's use our selection tool, and we want to click the globe artwork. So if I click the globe, I look over here to my layers panel, and I notice the globe isn't selected. I can see the globe right there. This one's selected, so I'm going to try and click right on the path maybe. Not much luck, so I'm just going to go ahead and select the globe right over here. The globe right over here. That just works better for me. Okay, so this little box right here is called the Indicates Selected Art button. All right, just cancel out of that. And I want to drag this globe up to the globe layer. So I can do that by dragging this right here. There we go. And so now my globe is all the way up on the globe layer. Okay, so now I want to select the green text, and I want to confirm that yes, the green text is selected. And I'm going to drag that up to the green text layer. So this is just showing you another way of being able to reorder things. And notice how the little boxes are also the same color as the layer over here. Okay, now I'm going to click and drag the green text layer above the globe layer. So I'm going to move my green text above the globe. Great, so now my green is above the globe. Now I need to select both instances of a new earth, right? So I've got this one, I've got both of these over here. And now I find it easier to just select one and then hit the shift key and then select the other. So I now got both. And what I can do is to drag both of these, I can take this little indicate selected art button and drag this one up to where it says a new earth. Great. So now I can see all of those. Excellent. So I'm going to click the target button on the new earth layer. The target button is this little circle right here. And when you select with the circle, it selects everything in that layer. Okay? And we're going to change the stroke color of the selection to blue. So I'm going to come Properties, Stroke, CMYK Blue, and that's that. So basically you were just learning how to reorganize the layers by using the indicated selected art box over here, and also how you can organize them nicely with colors. Okay? All right, so file save. Okay. All right, now let's move on to file 9, which we're going to be working with patterns. All right, so let's save this as star pattern. File, save as, save to Creative Cloud, star pattern underscore AI-G, save. Okay, so this time we're going to use this to make a pattern and make a swatch. So here we go. Let's see. Let's show our swatches panel. So Window, Swatches. All right, and I kind of expanded mine so I could see a lot of blank area down here, because what I'm going to end up doing is dragging this artwork onto it. So I'm going to select all of this artwork right here. I'm going to drag it over to my swatches panel. See, and now my mouse turned into like has that big green plus. I release, and I can see that my swatch is right there. All right. Now I don't need this over here anymore, so I can delete this. All right, delete. But my pattern is still over here on the swatch. All right, so I am going to double click the new pattern. Okay, so notice we've got some new things up here. So I'm in the pattern options right now. And I'm going to name this pattern star. All right. And if I double click the little white star right over here, if I double click that, I can change the color. And I'm going to change it to an orange here. It's going to be 03585 03585. Great. So now all of my stars have turned orange. Okay. And now if I double click the little white circle that's around here, and we're going to distort this. So I'm going to click the FX button, distort and transform, pucker and bloat, and we're going to make it -13 and hit OK. Okay, now I'm going to hit done up here. Okay. Great, so my pattern is still here, but I'm out of that panel options. And so now I want to apply that pattern to this green square here. So what I can do is I want to fit the artboard on the window. So view, fit artboard in the window. And I want to select this green box. And I'm going to click the star pattern on our swatch panel. There we go. So now that pattern swatch is applying to our object that we selected. And if I double click the scale tool over here, remember it's over here, if it's not showing, you hold down it could be the rotate or reflect tool that's showing, but get your scale tool. If I double click it, I'm going to want to modify this. So in the uniform box, I'm going to say 25. I'm going to just hit tab. And instead of transforming the object, I just want to transform the pattern. So I'm going to uncheck this right there. And so now notice how my pattern went from this to this, right? Because I shrunk it down by 25%. All right. And I'm going to go hit OK. Easy enough. You can take any kind of object, make it a pattern by dragging it onto the swatches panel, and then you can apply it to any of your objects. Okay, so let's save that. All right, moving on. Now we're going to use the shear tool. All right, so we're opening up file 10. We're going to call it shear review. File, save as, save to cloud, shear review underscore AI-G. All right, I'm going to go back to my select tool, and I'm going to select the text. Okay, let's change the fill color to, actually, I'm going to copy it first, and I'm going to paste it in front. So I like to show my layers as usual. Edit, copy, edit, paste in front so I can see what's happening. So now I've got the copy, and I've got the one that's on top selected. Okay, and we're going to fill that one with a light gray. So properties, fill, and I'm going to choose 00030, which I think is this one. Nope, this one. Right? Close my swatches panel. Okay, so now we're going to use the shear tool, which is hiding behind the scale tool. So if I click here, here's our shear tool. So what you have to do with the shear tool is you have to find an anchor point to apply it to. So if you're on Windows, you're going to use the Alt key, and on Mac, you're going to use the Option key. And you can see how when I click the button, that little icon appears. So I have my button depressed, and I'm just going to move the anchor just a little bit. Let's see if it takes. It doesn't take right off the bat. So I'm going to go, and now I can see my target right there. I'm going to hold my button down again. I'm just going to shift it over just a tiny bit. I got to move it. I got to move it just a little, ever so slightly. Move it a little bit, and then I'm going to put it back. This tends to happen a couple of times. Let's see. Okay, so this share tool, we've selected our text. I'm going to just start this over again. Selection tool, select all of our text. When I click the share tool, this little kind of target pulls up, but I'm just going to click and drag just to get it moving, get it going a little bit, and I'm going to undo it. Control Z. I'm going to put my target over here, and you're going to hit Alt on the Windows and Option on Mac. There we go. And now I'm going to hit 45 degrees. That's exactly what I want. Hit OK. Except my problem is that I had everything selected, so let me undo that. Select, deselect, so I really only want this group selected. I'll try that again. So I can see my target is over here, but I really want it over here. And I'm going to drag. Try this again. There we go. And now 45 degrees and hit OK. So now I've only shared my top layer. Sorry, that took me forever. I don't use this tool often. Okay, and now we're going to scale things down. So we're going to hit the scale button over here. Scale. Same thing. Let's hit the anchor point down here. And we are going to use the same key. Use the Alt, Windows, and Option for Mac. And we are going to size it so that it's 100 in the horizontal. We're going to choose non-uniform. 100 in the horizontal and 50 in the vertical. And we'll hit OK, and we're going to end up sending it behind the black text. So Object, Arrange, Send to Back, right? So our black text should be in the front. See, and we're going to select the black letters. I can see our black letters should be selected right now. And we're going to apply, make it red. Fill them with CMYK red and 1 point black stroke. There we go. So let's select, there we go. Of course, I did that backwards. Let's try this again. These should be moved to the back. Perfect. Gray is behind. And now my black text I'm selecting, and I'm going to make this red and 1 point black stroke. There we go. Got it. That was all just layering. Okay. So now we're going to use the distort tool. So let's go to file 11. Let's save that one. File 11 and save this as change. Change underscore AI-G. All right, so we're going to use the free transform tool, and the easiest way to get to that is in the magnifying glass. Free transform. There you go. All right. So let's select all. And if we position the mouse right over this bounding box right here, and click and hold the mouse over the anchor point and then I'm going to hit the control button on Windows um, or command tool on a Mac, and I'm going to just drag it down. Oops, there we go. There we go. So I'm just going to drag it down here. And I'm going to do the same thing over on the lower right hand, and I'm going to end up dragging this one down about 1.5 inches. So turns into that. I click, I hit Command on a Mac or Control on Windows, and I drag down again. All right, so notice how we are changing the perspective. It's exactly what we were doing here. All right, so now it looks like the left side is just kind of a little bit further away. And you can do that with the free transform tool. Easy enough. Save. Don't even need to hit save. All right, so file 12, we're going to do some warping. And this one's going to be called warp text. File, save as, warp text underscore AI-G. All right, so we're going to open the appearance panel. Here we go. So let's select everything and group it. And then group it all together in the object. There we go. And let's go to the effects menu and then warp. Let's see, effect, warp, and we're going to choose an arc for this. All right, great. So we can change our arc with this blend slider. We're going to move the blend slider to be 40. 40, tab, beautiful. And then I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And I want to hide the edges, right? So right now, these are our original edges right there, but I want to hide them. So view, hide edges. But on my appearance panel, I can see that we have a warp arc. So I can go ahead and click that again. Now I can change it to 35. It's just an easier way to get back to it. Hit OK. And I'm going to click the vertical. Yep, that's right. Okay. And that's that. But you can use the appearance panel for that. Super simple. All right. File, save. All right. 13. All right, this one we're going to be doing 3D objects. So let's save this as file, save as, extrude review, extrude review underscore AI-G. Okay. So we're going to select the green circle. Let me get my slide. Select the green circle and we're going to hide the edges. So view, hide edges. And now let's go to the effects menu and we're going to go to 3D, but instead of going to extrude and bevel up here, let's just go to the classic view because that's, anybody who's reading in the book, it will make more sense. So we're going to go to extrude and bevel here. And we are going to change the depth to 125. This is in points, whereas the other one was in inches if you didn't do the classic view. Okay. All right. I'm just going to hit OK. And notice how now it is much deeper, right? Hit OK. And now I can also see this on our appearance panel. I can see the extrude and bevel right in here. So I'm going to click that. And now this time I'm going to change the rotation by using this cube. So I can just kind of play around with it a little bit. See how I'm moving it around? Kind of cool, right? All right. But now I'm going to just type the numbers I want in here. So I'm going to do 60, 25, and 30. 60, 25, 25, and 30. Beautiful. Hit OK over here. And now I'm going to expand it. So up in the object, and hit expand the appearance. I'm going to show my edges again. All right, so now I can see my edges, right? They're all outlined right there. And I just want to change a little bit of the coloring just to make it a little bit more enhanced. So if I'm selecting this circle, let me click out here. I think I'm going to use the direct selection here. Click out this. I just want to change this circle, and I'm going to make it like a little bit of a lime green. See how that looks. All right, so you can just change some of the coloring a little bit. Looks a little bit better. This way, I could probably, that should work. Yep, looks good. Okay, save that. All right, so now we're going to revolve a 3D object. This was extruding a 3D object. Now we're revolving a 3D object. All right, so now we're on file 14. Let's save it as revolve. G. All right. So selection tool, let's select our letter E. We're going to hide our edges and we're going to hide the bounding box. So view, hide edges, and view, where is our bounding box? Oh, my bounding box is already hidden. So you would want to do a hide bounding box there if yours is still showing. Okay, so now we're going to go to our effects and we're going to do 3D again. Effects, 3D. Let's go to 3D Classic once again, okay? And this time we're going to choose Revolve Classic. Again, you can play around with our new Revolve. I'm just going to stick to Classic for these purposes, since our book kind of takes us through the older versions. All right, so now we are in Revolve. And we have our preview button checked. Excellent. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. And now same thing that we did before is that I can hit the 3D Revolve button on my Appearance panel and make some tweaks. So if I go ahead and click this here, I can change these. And if you notice when you hover over them, they do tell you what you are revolving around, right? X-axis, Y-axis, Z-axis, okay? So we got -20, 21, and then 30. Excellent. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit OK. Now let me show my edges again. Great. I'm going to select this object again. Select. Let's click 3D Revolve one more time. Let's see if we can change the offset. So we have an offset area here. Let's see if we can change this to 20. Let's see what the difference makes. All right, so let's pay attention here. If I hit tab, right? Okay, so you can preview it. No, it's not going to show me the difference. So 0 looks like that. Okay, 20 looks like this. Okay, doesn't look like it's going to go back and forth. Maybe that's why it's classic version. Okay, so you were able to offset it, and then we'll just go ahead and hit OK. But this is how you can revolve an object. Okay. And that concludes the end of the skill review. All right, thank you.